And you'll get people to tell you should pick a niche, but that's very short-sighted, because yes, you might do a little better right now, but unless people are falling in love, like, oh my God, Gaga, over your work, you're picking a niche that people just kind of like. And you cannot make a very good living as an artist if people just go, oh, that's nice. You need the, oh my God, I love it reaction, and you need it from enough people. She has some questions about her first show coming up. She wants to know if she should commit to one theme, or is it okay to paint several different subjects. So there's two answers there. One is depends on the show. Some shows want you to present a unified theme, and these are particular kind of high-end juried shows. In that case, it's probably kind of required. But if it's just your typical kind of arts and crafts show, or just where you can bring whatever you want, what I recommend is people early on in their journey, like, you're tasting everything. You're trying different subject matters, you're trying different mediums, you're trying different painting techniques, different stylistic approaches, until you kind of come upon that one voice where you love the work, the public loves the work, and you love the process. Then I recommend people try as much as possible and show as much as possible, because at the end of the day, it's not enough just to know that you love the work. If you're trying to make your living as an artist, you also need to know what the public's reaction is. So when I was doing shows before I found the voice that I'm kind of known for now, I was doing high realism portraits, I was doing watercolors, watercolor florals, watercolor landscapes, watercolor abstracts, same thing in oils, same thing in acrylics. I was doing collage, and you would find all of this type of stuff in my booth. But that is how you actually find your voice eventually. And you'll get people to tell you should pick a niche, but that's very short-sighted, because yes, you might do a little better right now, but unless people are falling in love, like, oh my God, Gaga, over your work, you're picking a niche that people just kind of like. And you cannot make a very good living as an artist if people just go, oh, that's nice. You need the, oh my God, I love it reaction, and you need it from enough people. So I would say don't pick a niche too soon. The goal is not to make the most sales right now or at one particular show. The goal is to get to the point where you can make tons of sales consistently doing work that you love. Okay, and the other question was how many pieces would I recommend for the first show? And again, that depends on, well, what is your booth size, right? There are some shows you might have a 4-foot by 8-foot panel, but there are some shows where you might have a tent. I did some shows where I had like a 20-foot panel with end walls. So what I would recommend, if it's a show where when pieces sell, the person takes it with them, then I think it's a good idea to have enough work to fill your wall twice. Or if you just have a tent, then to fill your tent with work. Because yeah, like, if your work is selling and people are taking it, you don't want to be in a situation where by day 2, you've only got 1 or 2 paintings hanging there. And also a question on speeding up and how long should it take? That depends on how long it takes you to create work. But one thing I would recommend for anybody, if you're getting ready for your first show, like 3 months before the show, you kind of figure, okay, how many paintings would I like to have and what sizes? And then realistically say how many painting sessions or days of painting that's going to take. And then look at your calendar and actually mark them in the calendar. So, and I do this whenever I'm having a show coming up. It would be like, 3 months before, you'll see on my calendar, like it might be Monday to Thursday, work on a 36 by 48, finish that 36 by 48, and then maybe 2 days to do a 24 by 24, 1 day on an 18 by 18, and so on, all the way up to say 2 weeks before the show. And that way I'm getting a realistic number of what I want to do. Plus I'm keeping track that I'm on schedule. And that also removes a lot of the stress, because I only need to worry about that one painting I'm working on right now. If I've done a good job of kind of plotting out my schedule, then I don't need to worry, am I going to have enough pieces, am I not? As long as I'm keeping on my schedule of what I'm supposed to be doing that day, then that's all I need to worry about. Yeah, and just asking if there was anything else I would recommend. And what I'd recommend to anybody, if you're not used to doing shows and you're about to start, it's a good idea to go visit the show that you're going to do before you get there, so you can see if there's any issues. And also talking with the other artists that are there and just ask them, how's the show going? Because the things you're going to need to deal with is, how do you process sales? Sometimes the show actually does that. Other times you might be using a Square or something else to take payment directly from people. But again, the best way to find that out is to actually go to the specific show. And even if you can't go to that show, if you go to a show or several shows before, so that you can see how artists are navigating that whole idea of exhibiting and selling your work at a festival. Okay, if you're looking to make a living from your art, there's a lot of decisions that go into what type of art you should be doing in terms of selling your work at shows and all of that kind of stuff. Now, if that's your dream, you might be interested in my Hungry Artist program. As well as getting all my courses, All the students in this program get a live group Zoom call with me once a week where I'll answer their questions, offer coaching advice, and critique their paintings. So if you dream of becoming a full-time artist and making a living doing what you love, but you're really not sure how to get there, then you might want to click the link in the description. You can learn about my Hungry Artist program. You'll also get some amazing discounts on all my courses, and you can get 5 free chapters from my new book, which provides a step-by-step guide to creating a livable income from your art. So click on the link below. Maybe I'll see you on one of my live Zoom calls.